EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the Crescent City of New Orleans and the Caesars Superdome, the home of the Saints. Thanks for having us in, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson up here in the booth. Greg, we've looked at this matchup, talked about the offenses, the defenses. Feels like a tight one, and usually what does that mean? Special teams could be a big factor in who gets out of here with the W.
Each week when we come into these games, Mike, we probably do a disservice to just the importance of how much special teams plays a factor in deciding the outcome of these games. And you're exactly right. When teams find themselves very similar on offense, very similar on defense, all the metrics, all the stats, can you find an advantage, even the slightest one, in the kicking game, the return game, generate a turnover or a big kick return? Sometimes that little slight advantage is all you need to tip the scales in your favor.
Here's Williams on the return. And he is stopped at the 25. The drive will begin there. So the Saints ready to go to work on offense for the first time. And their quarterback is the all-time leading passer for the Raiders, Derek Carr, the veteran.
I don't know about you, Mike, but my biggest takeaway from our meeting with him was just how important it is that they get off to a fast start. He made it very clear. They wanted to put their opponent on their heels right from the jump. So I think early in this game, they're going to come out swinging right from their opening whistle.
From the 25, they'll go to work. 1st and 10. In motion is Hill. Throwing at the start. Here's Carr. To the left side, in the hands of Hill. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down. They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. On the ground for the first time, this is Alvin Kamara. Oh, no, right at the start, he loses the football.
And as you can see with that fumble, Mike, it really just goes back to the fundamentals of how they're taught to carry the ball. And they talk about the points of pressure. And the biggest thing really, Mike, is you want the front tip of the ball, the part where your fingers cover, to always be higher than the back tip of the ball. So often you see that front tip go down, and it makes it so much easier for that defender to kind of rake it out. So you want pressure against the outside of the ball, both tips, the inside of the ball, and then keep that front point up.
Here's 1st and 10. Now the former Ohio State Buckeye, here's J.K. Dobbins. And this play going nowhere. He is taken down behind the line of scrimmage on their first play of the game.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on 1st down, but that's exactly the case here.
Fine work defensively. That's going to be knocked away and go down as an incompletion. Paulson Adebo, the good coverage, gets his hand in there to knock it away. A tough spot here. 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Herbert. He gets this one complete to Johnston. And he's into the end zone. Quentin Johnston, touchdown LA.
You know, there's so many key factors that allow a play like this, Mike, to have so much success. And of course, like anything, it starts with the quarterback being accurate. It's such a big part of NFL football right now is the run after the catch, but the accuracy of the ball allows the receiver to turn into a runner after securing the catch. So great job there by the quarterback, and then sometimes it's just a foot race to the pylon and speed kills, and wide receiver gets the ball, secures it, and he does the rest.
Dicker, good with the extra point. And the Chargers will take a 7-0 lead. After the touchdown, here's Dicker out to send this one away. On the return, it's Williams. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Saints offense and veteran Alvin Kamara set to take over once more. They trail here by a touchdown as this drive will start with a first down. Carr working out of the gun. Brought in by Chris Olave. And he'll wind up out of bounds past the 45-yard line. Great way to start the drive. A gain of 20 and a first down.
Really nice throw there. The ability to throw the ball out on the perimeter. Yes, arm strength and all of that, but it's also timing. The timing of the route. When is that wide receiver coming out of his break to deliver that ball accurately as his head comes around? If the ball's thrown too early, the receiver's not ready. If the ball's thrown too late, that's when disaster strikes.
It's a gain of 16, and it's two nice plays to begin this drive.
And a nice pickup there by the back with an explosive run play. And it's important to point out, Mike, this offensive play caller, he's still working off that opening script. It doesn't necessarily have to just be the first possession. Using formations, using run game and pass. Unmask the defense and understand where to take the play calling as the game unfolds.
Here's 2nd and 6. They'll go play action with Carr. This throw right side is caught by Hill.
Really nice job there defensively, playing the integrity of that zone defense so well. Anytime an offense is running these crossing routes or these underneath drag routes, they're trying to cause confusion with the underneath zone defenders. In this case, they all stuck to their reads, they all played their responsibilities, and they're not able to pick up any additional yards after the catch.
A pickup there of 13. First down, New Orleans.
This offense has to be thrilled, Mike, with the success they've had here on the ground in this opening quarter. Now as the rest of the game unfolds, everything in the game plan continues to open up.
They're at the 17-yard line now for 1st and 10. To throw is Carr. To the left side and pulled in. Valdez-Scantling.
The receiver thought he had a nice soft spot in that zone coverage, and he settles down to give a nice target to the quarterback. But the defense had eyes on him the entire time. Secure rally tackle prevents that from turning into a big play.
2nd down, Carr. That'll be caught. It's Alvin Kamara. And it'll be a short pickup. That's not enough for the first down.
Defensive coordinators preach all the time, play pass defense with vision. It's exactly the case here. They're able to rally to the ball, keep that to a short gain.
They'll look to pick this up 3rd and a yard. From the shotgun, it's Carr. And he's going to be dropped. They get to him back at the 15-yard line. Khalil Mack, 3-time All-Pro, in there to bag another one.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sitting duck for this pass rush.
Here's Blake Grupe for the Saints, a field goal try. This just a little more than a chip shot. 32-yard attempt. Grupe's kick is good. And the Saints are on the board. It's 7-3.
And I can tell you firsthand, Mike, when you find yourself trailing in a game, you don't feel very good about coming away with field goals. But in this case, it does get them a little bit closer and cut into this deficit.
He made the field goal a moment ago. Now Groupie back out to kick it away. Here's Ladd McConkey to return. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Chargers offense ready to see what they can do on their second possession. The lead sits at 4, so they'll try to add on to that. This drive begins with 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Herbert. Now a ball thrown deep for Johnston. That one broken up. It is incomplete. They tried the shot on 1st down, couldn't connect. It'll bring up 2nd down.
I'm not going to sit here, Mike, and throw the guy a parade for ultimately what was an incompletion, but can we just take a second to appreciate the arm strength he was able to show there? I mean, I think that ball is over 60 yards in the air, and I would be surprised if they continue to just air it out and see if they can complete one of those.
And that'll go for a gain of 7, and it's going to set up 3rd down. So they'll talk over what to do on this 3rd down play as we have hit the end of the 1st quarter. The Chargers out to the early lead. More from New Orleans after this. Third down, 3 to go. A run with Dobbins. And he is going to have the Chargers' 1st down as they move the chains on 3rd down.
In real time from up here, Mike, I couldn't tell whether or not he got it at first glance, but I think after seeing the replays we have up here, it looked like he and his blockers got just enough, and they're going to be able to keep this drive alive.
Herbert now on 1st down. Here's a ball thrown deep right sideline. And that ball led him too far, maybe too wide. Out of bounds, incomplete. Ladd McConkey, the one he was looking for. And it'll lead to a 2nd down. That's Palmer, the man in motion. He keeps it himself. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield.
They got to do a better job of keeping the quarterback contained in the pocket all week, Mike, against mobile quarterbacks. You talk about rushing as a group. This time they get a little undisciplined with their rush lane integrity, and he makes them pay.
They'll run it with Gus Edwards. A good spot here, 2nd and a yard. They bring the tight end in motion. From the gun, it's Herbert. There is his tight end, Disley. And he's going to be out of bounds. It's just beyond the line of scrimmage. That's all they needed to pick up the 1st down.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. They're going to motion the tight end over here. Now, Herbert. He's going to run it.
Well, let's give credit here to the coverage unit, Mike. There was nowhere to go with the ball for that quarterback. He had no choice but to just tuck it down himself, and he's able only to pick up a short gain.
They need to get to the 29 here, facing 3rd down. That's Palmer, the man in motion. He'll look middle, and he's got his man complete. Remember, he had the touchdown on the opening drive, and here on drive 2, he gets a 1st down with that catch.
And this is the blueprint, Mike. The ability to sustain and maintain possession and methodically move the ball down the field in the process. The defense has had no answers up until this point, and now the next step is, can they come away with 6? Because anything less than that, after this long drive, would be a bit of a letdown.
Oh, a man open right side. He's got him. And he will score. Quentin Johnston. Touchdown, Los Angeles. That's his 2nd touchdown so far here in the 1st half. Point after now from Dicker. The kick is good. And the Chargers extend their advantage to 14-3. After the touchdown, here's Dicker out to send this one away. On the return, here's Mims. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. Now, out comes the New Orleans offense. They're ready to take over once again. They trail now 14-3, so an 11-point deficit as they start things out with 1st and 10. In motion is Hill. Carr now to throw on 1st down. The reception for Rashid Shaheed. That's a nice pickup on a 1st down throw. It's a gain of 8. Here's 2nd and 2. Back is Carr. He lets one go, looking for Shaheed. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down.
So as halftime looms, Mike, they have to find a way to capitalize on this drive right here and make sure they end the half with some sort of points. Now, that incompletion, not ideal, but at the very least, it stops the clock. Catch your breath, get back in the huddle, and this next play, it's got to be a gotta-have-it best play call.
So now the Saints will use the first of their 3 timeouts, and they'll get a chance to talk things over after picking up that 1st down. In motion is Hill. Off the play fake. Here's Carr. That's to the sideline. Taken in by Johnson. Second down and 8. They'll motion their tight end Johnson. Play action now. It's Carr. Right back to Johnson. He's got it again. And they'll work this close to a first down, maybe just a tad short.
There's no more efficient play in the NFL, Mike, than the play-action passing game, and you can see here why. You make the defense have to honor both the run and the pass, and he's able to pick up a nice gain to his tight end.
Carr from the gun on third down. That's going to be pulled in by Kamara. Trying to get to the edge. He will not get there. As a matter of fact, he was taken down behind the line, and that brings up fourth down.
We see teams more and more throw the ball short of the sticks on third down, really for two reasons. One, they're confident that they can pick up the first down with yards after the catch. Two, teams' willingness to go for it on fourth down is at an all-time high.
That is incomplete. They took a chance throwing it on fourth and short, but not to be, and they'll turn it over on downs.
So this offense, they think this is a prime opportunity to go for it through the air on fourth down, but this defense was having none of it. Nowhere for the quarterback to go with the ball, no easy completions, and this defense forces a huge stop on fourth down.
Herbert now on first down. He's got the connection there. It's Joshua Palmer. Now the Chargers will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Herbert. He connects with Disley. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the first down. Shotgun now for Herbert. Thrown into a sea of bodies, but it's complete. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line. Here's Cameron Dicker now on for the field goal. It'll be a 44-yard attempt. Dicker's kick is good. And the Chargers going to open up a 17-3 lead.
All right, Mike, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our halftime report. The highlights are fairly one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference here at the break, but I wouldn't call this one over just yet. I think there could still be some fireworks yet to come.
Coach, thank you. Back here on EA Sports as we count down to the kickoff of the second half. First half played out a bit as we expected. We'll see if there's a surprise coming up. Both teams set to go, and the second half is underway. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Chargers offense ready to get going again. They'll have it first in this third quarter. The lead is a couple of touchdowns as this drive kicks off 1st and 10. To throw is Herbert. Brought in by the tight end, Hayden Hurst with the catch. And he'll be taken down all the way up past the 45.
What a luxury that certain teams, when they have a guy like this, I mean, not only is he the big target, but then to have that size and speed to run away from these linebackers and do so much of his damage after the catch.
On 1st and 10, here's Herbert. That one into the hands of Smart. And they're going to move this ball inside the 25-yard line.
Talk about a thing of beauty. Mike, did you see how many tight ends were on the field on that last play? They call it 13 personnel because there's one running back, 3 tight ends, 1 wide receiver. So everybody on defense is thinking run. They catch them off guard a little with the pass, and they take advantage of it with a big gain downfield.
1st and 10. Pistol here for Herbert. And he got rid of that one quickly before the receiver even knew what was going on. That's incomplete.
A rare miss for a quarterback that we've seen really come out on fire throughout this entire contest. I mean, his completion percentage, Mike, is well above league average, and frankly, it's really the biggest reason why they find themselves out in front.
Now a play fake. Herbert. That's going to be intercepted in the end zone. Picked off by Jordan Howden.
So much of that play comes down to the defender's positioning, being able to get himself to a spot to get his hands on the ball and a chance at that pick. Mike, when that ball was thrown, me and you are sitting here saying, that's a touchdown, and instead, they force a turnover, and now their offense is back on the field.
The Saints offense getting ready for their opening possession of this second half. They trail by 2 touchdowns, so the time is now. Got to get that rally going. It starts with 1st and 10. They'll start this one on the ground with Kamara. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
Running back looked a little unsure of himself on that carry there, Mike. You have to think back to that fumble earlier in the game. How much is that still weighing on his mind? He didn't really seem to attack that hole like we've seen in the past. He gets stopped for no gain.
2nd down, Carr. He'll get this out to his running back. And they'll get about 8 out of that one, but still a little work to do now on 3rd down.
All right, so there's really 3 areas that a modern NFL running back has to excel at. Number 1, the traditional handoffs. Number 2, you have to be excellent and reliable in pass protection. And maybe bigger than all of them, you have to be at least serviceable out of the backfield in the passing game.
They'll try and run for this with Kamara. And he is going to have the Saints' 1st down. This defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain on 3rd and 2.
Nothing real fancy about this call here, Mike, right? And this 3rd and short, just get the ball to your running back, make sure he has enough space to pick up the 1st down, and they're able to convert.
Ball out to the 35-yard line as they come up for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Carr. His pass taken in by Shaheed. And he's going to be taken down right at midfield.
Whatever they've talked about in the locker room at the halftime break seems to have worked. They've come out with a new established energy. You could see it when they took the field. Now this offense seems to be building on it because with that chunk play, just a little bit of rhythm that they can build off of. They got a long way to go to get back into this game, but so far off to a good start.
In motion is Hill. They'll go play action with Carr. And this will be incomplete, but a penalty flag down on the play. And let's see who's guilty. You only get a 1-yard buffer from the line of scrimmage for these old linemen. That time he strayed a little too far, and it draws the flag. On the handoff, it's Kamara. And he'll take this forward for about 3. It's second down. They'll motion their tight end, Johnson. And he'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
You can't fault the quarterback on this one, Mike. He really didn't even have much of an opportunity. By the time he hit the top of his drop and got his eyes downfield, the defense was all over him, and he really had no choice but to just get that ball out of his hand and live to play another snap.
Carr now. That's out to the flat, and it's complete. Searching for some kind of seam to go forward. It's not there. They get him behind the line. Fourth down coming up.
It's almost like the defense knew the back was getting the ball there, because from the moment the ball was snapped, there was a defender all over him, and he's able to bring him down for a loss.
And no chance of a run back here. This one's going to sail out of bounds. Justin Herbert back out there. He and the Chargers getting set to go once more. And we run you through the highlights here. It has been a very big performance from the quarterback position. Instrumental in leading and executing, and now trying to finish strong and take his team to the finish line. From the 35, it's 1st and 10. Now it's Herbert. There is his tight end, Disley. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple. Out of the gun, here's Herbert. He's going to let this one go deep. That one broken up. It's incomplete. All over him down the field. It'll set up 3rd down.
Well, not exactly breaking news here, Mike. They got speed on the perimeter that just not a lot of teams in the NFL have. So even though that ball falls incomplete, I think they have to continue to do it. Continue to pressure this defense and make them defend the entire field. Because as they're worried about him running by them, there is a lot of space open underneath.
So we are through 3. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On 4th down, out is J.K. Scott to punt for the Chargers. Cedric Wilson back to receive. And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback and will come out to the 20-yard line. The Saints offense ready to see what they can do. They'll start out 1st down and 10. Carr working out of the gun. And he's not going to get too far, tackled after a gain of just a yard.
When you put plays like this on tape, it sends a message to every defender across the league. When you play this offense and this guy has the ball, you better bring it when you come to contact him, because if not, you're going to be on the wrong end of it.
Shaheed in motion. Carr now on second down. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up third down. Back is Carr. He's got his man. It's Hill. That's the second time they connect on this drive. This one good for 13 yards.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late.
Second and a yard. To throw, it's Carr. Shaheed with the catch. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the first down.
Really nice job here by the quarterback, understanding what did he need to pick up a fresh set of downs. In this case, that underneath drag route was all it took. Get the ball into the hands of your receiver, pick up a first down.
Carr now to throw on first down. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They clearly have a mismatch in their favor, and every time they've looked his way, he's continued to make big plays. If I'm this coordinator, I think I'm giving him one more shot and see if he can push this thing over the goal line and come away with 6.
On first and 10, Carr. That's over the middle and taken in by Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be taken down as the clock ticks towards 2 minutes to play. That's a gain of 16. This offense is humming. A first down. So 2 minutes left to play in the second half. Greg and I back on EA Sports after this. They've got all 3 timeouts left, but need to score quick. It's first and 10. They'll drop to throw. And he'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
In motion is Hill. Now a second down throw from Carr. And he'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
It's rare to see an offense that finds themselves trailing and say, well, their quarterback's been actually one of their biggest bright spots. Usually that doesn't go hand in hand, so it's a little surprising to see him miss a throw like that on a day where he's completed passes at a highly efficient rate.
Carr from the gun on third down. And he'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Got to give a lot of credit here to the coverage unit, Mike. There was plenty of time for the quarterback to work through his progression. I thought the protection was actually pretty solid. But at the end of it, there was just nowhere to go, and he had no choice but to just throw that ball away.
So here it is, fourth down and 10. Carr. And that is incomplete. They had their chance. They took it there. Look, they're trailing late. Got to let it fly. This will wind up a turnover on downs. So now here comes the Chargers as they get set to take over once more. As we look back at some of the highlights in this one, you'll see a lot of them, Greg, coming from the passing game. They've done a nice job picking the defense apart.
Yeah, and I think that's the right way to say it. It hasn't necessarily been just a bunch of deep shots, a bunch of explosives. It's been more methodical. It's been precise. They've really been all over their execution, and this is about as close to a complete performance as you're going to see from any offense throughout the course of this season.
Three tight ends in the game to start the drive. Here's Dobbins. A modest gain, maybe 2 yards. It's second down. On second down, it's Edwards. He'll get about 3, and that's going to lead to third down. Saints going to use their second timeout, and they'll take it with just over 90 seconds left on the clock. You've got to consider this an absolute must-stop defensively. It's third down. On the ground, here's Dobbins. And he'll have the first down. They'll get him up around the 37. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. "22 yards, the pickup there. It's good for a Charger first down."
And this is the point of the game, Mike, where you really can start leaning on your run game and try to close this game out. You've got the lead, you're in the fourth quarter, and they're able to pop off a big run.
They'll break the huddle, coming up now for 1st and 10. Victory formation here as he's down to a knee. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say so long, everyone.